try and get it boxed off in one, eh? And if no one watches, it doesn't really matter because it's just going to get posted anyway. Thank you for attending anyway in advance. Get it all set up for you. Some things that are of value to me. You know. Bookmark, that's a good one. These feathers, I think buzzers, I don't know, I'm guessing someone will be able to recognise them, won't they? But it's nice to have some of these anyway from a bird of prey or whatever it is. That way's better, isn't it? How's it looking? Excuse me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not against any law whatsoever. Belching. Not yet, anyway. Thankfully. Can you imagine that if you weren't allowed to belch or fart? Oh yeah, demolition man. Oh my days. Whoops. Yeah, there it is again. Demolition man. Yeah, is that right? Do they like charge you for farting and? Never mind. Okay. Let's play with these feathers, isn't it? They look quite nice and behind the light. Yeah. Look at that. I'll move it on then. Oops. It's not attached. Sorry. I'm a noob really when it comes to these sort of things. I am an amateur content creator. I'm a noob, man. Come on. I'm a noob. Noob content creator. But I'm not a noob gamer though. Come on. Been #1 for about 6 months. Ooh. Watch. The feathers. Look at these. And the light's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, it does work quite well. Yeah, anyway. I'll just leave that. This is good as well. I like this one. Get it out. Just gonna have a read. I've got the book here, don't worry. There we go. What else have we got now? Oh, we got another feather. And we got the gold coin. I bought this as well. It's quite a good coin. Can't quite see it, but anyway, I need to keep that on me more often. Okay, we'll read this out as well. So let's twist you down here. Right. One night a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene he noticed 2 sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path of his life there was only 1 set of footprints. He also noticed that it happened at the very lowest, saddest times in his life. This really bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way, but I have noticed that during the most troublesome times in my life, there is only 1 set of footprints. I don't understand why when I need you most, you would leave me. The Lord replied, here we go. My precious, precious child, I love you, and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only 1 set of footprints, was then that I carried you. That's a nice one, though. It's quite profound. I got that helps as well. It's someone's foot now. All right, thanks, man. Thanks, Oliver. Hello. All right, it's a bit awkward doing this with these. Let's try and be a bit closer. I got to read it whilst like giving you the shot or something. Anyway, maybe we should just read it. You can just see it anyway, can't you? You can. I'll just read it for you. So, oh yeah, we'll do this little passage. I like this one as well. Go back. Sure. Too much here. That really fucks the visuals up, doesn't it? Yeah. One of them was alright. Out there, I think. Trying to be. Maybe it's down there. Okay, Shambhala Dragon Editions. The dragon is an age-old symbol of the highest spiritual essence, embodying wisdom, strength, and the divine power of transformation. In this spirit, Shambhala Dragon Editions offers a treasury of readings in the sacred knowledge of Asia. In presenting the works of authors, both ancient and modern, we seek to make these teachings accessible to lovers of wisdom everywhere. Okay, usual stuff here. Okay. Hold it at the same time. Okay, The Art of War, translator's preface. Let's see what we've got here. Compiled well over 2,000 years ago by a mysterious Chinese warrior philosopher, Sun Tzu, isn't it? It is still perhaps the most prestigious and influential book of strategy in the world today, as eagerly studied in Asia by modern politicians and executives, as it has been by military leaders and strategists for the last 2 millennia and more. In Japan, which was transformed directly from a feudal culture, I can't remember what that means exactly, I sort of know, feudal culture into a corporate culture virtually overnight. Contemporary students of the art of war have applied the strategy of this ancient classic to modern politics and business with similar alacrity. That's good, a new one. Yeah. Anyway, indeed, some see in the successes of post-war Japan an illustration of Sun Tzu's dictum of the classic to win without fighting is best. As a study of the anatomy of organizations in conflict, the art of war applies to competition. Where are we going to here? Same as a study of the anatomy. As a study of the anatomy of organizations in conflict, the art of war applies to competition and conflict in general on every level of. Oh, hang on, I missed a bit there. Post-war Japan, an illustration of Sun Tzu's dictum of the classic. Yeah, I didn't know. And its aim is invincibility, victory without battle, and unassailable strength through understanding of the physics, politics, and psychology of conflict. The translation of the art of war presents the classic from the point of view of its background in the great spiritual tradition of Taoism. The origin not only of psychology, but also of science and technology in East Asia, and the source of the insights into human nature that underlie this most revered of handbooks for success. In my opinion, the importance of understanding a Taoist element of the art of war can hardly be exaggerated. Not only is this classic strategy permeated with the ideas of great Taoists, works such as the I Ching, the Book of Changes. Whew. Okay, and Tao Ti. Oh shit, man. Yeah, that's a bit better. Nope. I'll try this fucking light. More light, basically. Always more. More illumination. Oh dear. Nightmare. Excuse me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's a calamity. Oh, that's better. Yeah. That's too sharp for me. Give it this one. It doesn't like this one. I don't think. It doesn't like that one. This doesn't like light, does it? Filming. Lights are shit in this room as well. Shit lights. Sorry for the language. If you're offended by such things. Okay. Well, I'm reading it anyway, so. But it reveals the fundamentals of Taoism as the ultimate source of all the traditional Chinese martial arts. Furthermore, while the art of war is unmatched in its presentation of principle, the keys to deepest levels of practice of its strategy depend on the psychological development in which Taoism specializes. The enhanced personal power traditionally associated with application of Taoist mentality technology is in itself a part of the collective power associated with application of the understanding of mass psychology taught in collective power associated with the application of the understanding of mass psychology taught in the art of war. What is perhaps most characteristically Taoist about the art of war in such a way as to recommend itself to the modern day is the manner in which power is continually tempered by a profound undercurrent of humanism. Throughout Chinese history, Taoism has been a moderating force in the fluctuating currents of human force and action. Teaching that life is complex of interacting forces, Taoism has fostered both material and mental progress, both technological development and awareness of the potential dangers of that very development, always striving to encourage balance between the material and spiritual sides of humankind. Similarly, in politics, Taoism has stood on the side of both rulers and rules, has set kingdoms up and torn kingdoms down according to the needs of time. As a classic of Taoist thought, The Art of War is as a book not only of war, but also of peace, above all, a tool for understanding the very roots of conflict and resolution. Well, there you go. Anyway. According to an old story, a lord of ancient China once asked his physician, a member of family healers, which of them was the most skilled in art. The physician, whose reputation was such that his name became synonymous with medical science in China, replied, "My eldest brother sees a spirit of sickness and removes it before it takes shape, so his name does not get out of the house. My elder brother cures sickness when it is still extremely minute, so his name does not get out of the neighborhood. As for me, I puncture veins, prescribe potions, and massage skin, so from time to time my name gets out and is heard among the lords." Among the tales of ancient China, none captures more beautifully than this essence of the art of war, the premier classic of the science of strategy and conflicts. A Ming dynasty critic writes of this late tale of the physician, "What is essential for leaders, generals, and ministers in running countries and governments is no more than this: What's the change of the leader generals? I don't know. What is a prelude? Well, the art of war then. Okay. Governing army's name on this. The healing arts and martial arts may be a world apart in ordinary usage, martial arts and healing arts, but they are parallel in several senses in recognizing, as the story says, that the less needed the better, in the sense that both involve strategy in dealing with disharmony, and in the sense that in both knowledge of the problem is the key to the solution. As in the story of the ancient healers, in Sun Tzu's philosophy, the peak efficiency of knowledge and strategy is to make conflict altogether unnecessary. To overcome others' armies without fighting is the best of skills. And like the story of the healers, Sun Tzu explains there are all grades of material arts. A superior militarist foils enemies' plots. Next best is to ruin their alliances. Next after that is to attack their armed forces. Worst is to besiege their cities. Just as the eldest brother's in the stories was unknown because of his acumen, and his middle brother's hard known because of his alacrity, Sun Tzu also affirms that in ancient times, though known as skilled warriors, when victory was still easy, so the victories of skilled warriors were not known for cunning or rewarded for bravery. Yeah. The victories of skilled warriors were not known for cunning or rewarded for bravery. Interesting. This ideal strategy whereby one could win without fighting, accomplished the most by doing the least, bears the characteristic stamp of Taoism, the ancient tradition of knowledge that fostered both healing arts and martial arts in China. The Tao Te Ching, or the way and its power. I was Tao Chi Ching. Okay. Seems all right. Applies the same strategy to society that Sun Tzu attributes to warriors of ancient times. Plan for what is difficult while it's easy. Do what is great while it is small. The most difficult things in the world must be done while they are still easy. The greatest things in the world must be done while they are still small. For this reason, sages never do what is great, and this is why they can achieve that greatness. Yeah. Written over 2,000 years ago during a period of prolonged civil war, the art of war emerged from the same social conditions as some of the greatest classics of Chinese humanism, including Tao Te Ching. Taking a rational rather than an emotional approach to the problem of conflict, Sun Tzu showed how understanding conflict can lead not only to its resolution, but even to its avoidance altogether. The prominence of Taoism. The prominence of Taoism, thought in the art of war, has been noticed by scholars for centuries, and a classic of strategy is recognized both philosophical and political works of the Taoist canon. The level of knowledge represented by the upper reaches of the art of war, the level of invincibility and the level of no conflict is one expression of what Taoist law calls deep knowledge and strong action. Note again the similarity. Footnote. Note again the similarity of Sun Tzu's advice to medical wisdom. To foil the enemy's plots is like keeping healthy so as to be resistant to disease. To ruin their alliances is like avoiding contagion. To attack their armed forces is like taking their medicine. To besiege their cities is like performing surgery. Okay, and what was that saying? The level of knowledge presented by the upper reaches of the art of war, the level of invincibility and the level of no conflict is one expression of what Taoist law calls deep knowledge and strong action. The Book of Balance and Harmony, Chung Hao Shi Zhong Ho Ji, a medieval Taoist work, says deep knowledge of principle knows without seeing, strong practice of the way accomplished without striving. Deep knowledge is to know without going out the door, see the way of heaven without looking out the window. Strong action is great, grow even stronger, adapting to all situations. Well, that's quite a good sentence, isn't it? There's a lot of profound notes in there, isn't there? In terms of the art of war, the master warrior is likewise the one who knows psychology and mechanics of conflict so intimately that every move and opponent is seen through at once. And one who is able to act in precise accord with situations, riding on their natural patterns with a minimum of effort. The Book of Balance and Harmony goes on to describe Taoist knowledge and practice further in terms of familiar to the quest of the warrior. Deep knowledge is to be aware of disturbance before disturbance, to be aware of danger before danger, to be aware of destruction before destruction, to be aware of calamity before calamity. Strong action is training the body without being burdened by the body, exercising the mind without being used by the mind, working in the world without being affected by the world, carrying out tasks without being obstructed by tasks. By deep knowledge of principle, one change. One can change disturbance into order, change danger into safety, change destruction into survival, change calamity into fortune by strong action on the way. One can bring the body back to the realm of longevity, bring the mind to the sphere of mystery, bring the world to great peace, and bring tasks to great fulfillment. As these passages suggest, warrior of Asia, who used Taoist or Zen arts to achieve profound calmness, did not do so just to prepare their minds to sustain the awareness of imminent death, but also achieve that sensitivity needs to respond to situations without stopping to ponder the book of balance and harmony saints. Sorry, I just found it a bit, I don't know what I found amusing, it just got to me. It's just all very good, isn't it? Have a little break. It doesn't matter if you're there anyway. I'm going to finish it tonight anyway. I'm not going to leave it till I finish. There we go. Committed to that. Oh dear. Perhaps it leaves itself. Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, like and subscribe. Yes, TK, thanks. That's funny. He's jibbed off now. Yes, that's fair. Great work there. You're doing a better job now. It's taking me a wee while. I might have to do this in like 2 parts. I'm getting into it though. It's yeah, you can read it though, can't you? Yeah, I'm just having a little break. Whoever's just joined, so having a good read, man. It's quite a profound book, really. It's the first time I read it through out loud like this, so it's all quite interesting. I think that's right. I can just read it through here, can't I? Yeah. Reach to the art war, the level of invincibility and the level of no conflict is one expression of what Taoist law calls deep knowledge. Yeah, I read that. Yeah. In terms of the art war, the master warriors, likewise, the one who knows the psychology and mechanics. Yeah, I've done that. Deep knowledge is to be, yeah. Did we get on with it as well? Yeah, we did that as well. Comprehension in a state of quiescence, accomplishment without striving, knowing without seeing. This is the sense and response of the transformative Tao. Comprehension in a state of quiescence can comprehend anything accomplishment. Without striving can accomplish anything. No, without seeing can know anything. As in the art of war, the range of awareness and efficiency of the Taoist adept is unnoticeable, imperceptible to others, because their critical moments take place before ordinary intelligence has mapped out a description of the situation. The Book of Balance and Harmony says, to sense and comprehend after action is not worthy of being called comprehension. To accomplish after striving is not worthy of being called accomplishment. To know after seeing is not worthy of being called knowing. These three are far from the way of sensing and response. Indeed, to be able to do something before it exists, sense something before it becomes active, see something before it sprouts, are three abilities that develop independently. Then nothing is sense, it is comprehended, nothing is undertaken without response. Nowhere does one go without benefit. Let's have a proper break. I need to just box a few things off. Too drastic, don't we? Oh, I've already got one anyway. That's great, isn't it? Don't you love that? Don't you just love that? Come back to the one. This will get me moving again. Okay. Move them a bit. I can stoop over. Then nothing is sensed but is comprehended. Nothing is undertaken without response. Nowhere does one go without benefit. One of the purposes of Taoist literature is to help develop this special sensitivity and responsiveness to master living situations. The Book of Balance and Harmony mentions the transformative Tao, in reference to the analytical and meditative teachings of the I Ching. Excuse if I mispronounce it, as usual. The locus classicus of the formula for sensitivity and responsiveness. Like the I Ching, and other classical Taoist literature, the art of war has an incalculable abstract reserve and metaphorical potential, and like other classical Taoist literature, it yields its subtleties in accord with the mentality of the reader and the manner in which it is put into practice. That's what I'm finding by reading it. It's quite informative. One of the purposes of Taoist literature is we've done that bit. The association of martial arts with Taoist tradition extends back to the legendary Yellow Emperor of the 3rd millennium BCE. One of the major culture heroes of China and an important figure in Taoist law. According to myth, the Yellow Emperor conquered savage tribes through the use of magical martial arts taught him by a Taoist immortal. Wow. And he also said to have composed the famous Ying convergence classic, Yin Fu Xing. Yin Fu Ying. Yin Fu Ying. Well, a Taoist work of great antiquity, traditionally given both martial and spiritual interpretations. Over 1,000 years later, warrior chieftains overthrowing the remnants of ancient Chinese slave society, introducing humanist concepts of government, composed the classic sayings of the I Ching, and as a Taoist text traditionally used as a basis for both martial and civil arts. The basic principles of the I Ching figure prominently in Sun Tzu's Science of Political Warfare, just as they are essential to individual combat and defensive techniques in the traditional martial arts that grew out of Taoist exercises. The next great Taoist text after the Yin Convergence Classic and I Ching was the Tao Te Ching, like the art of war, a product of the era of warring states which ravaged China in the middle of the 1st millennium BCE. This great classic represents the prevailing attitude toward war that characterizes Sun Tzu's manual, that it is destructive even for the victors, often counterproductive, a reasonable course of action only when there is no choice. Those who assist a leader by means of the Tao do not use arms to coerce the world, for these things tend to reverse. Brambles grow where an army has been. Bad years follow a great war. Weapons are inauspicious instruments, not the tools of the enlightened. There is no choice but to use them. It is best to be calm and free from greed and not celebrate victory. Those who celebrate victory are bloodthirsty, and the bloodthirsty cannot have their way with the world. In a similar way, the art of war pinpoints anger and greed as a fundamental cause of defeat. According to Sun Tzu, it is the unemotional, reserved, calm and detached warrior who wins, not the hothead seeking vengeance, and not the ambitious seeker of fortune. The Tao Te Ching says, those who are good at knighthood are not militaristic. Those who are good at battle do not become angry. How's this gone? 5. Okay, that's the other page. Wow. Yeah, it's just going to take a while. The book, right? It's one of this. It's got a bit wet in the past. Oh dear. I think they can tell that just by looking at it. Yeah. Okay, right. So you got that one. There's a word I forgot. 5 and 6. Yeah. So I'll do that again. Those who are good at knighthood are not militaristic. Those who are good at battle do not become angry. But those who are good at prevailing over opponents do not get involved. The strategy of operating outside the sphere of emotional influence is a part of the general strategy of unfathomability that the art of war emphasizes in characteristic Taoist style. Sun Tzu says, those skilled in defense hide in the deepest depths of the earth. Those skilled in attack maneuver in the highest heights of the sky. Therefore, they can preserve themselves and achieve complete victory. This emphasis on the advantages of enigma pervades Taoist thinking from the political realm to the realms of commerce and craft, where it is said a good merchant hides his treasures. Yeah, that's better. Let's do that. Maybe. Got need more right there. You sure you have to read it at the same time? Oh, there we go. That's something like that. I could just read it off the bloody thing, can't I? There you go. Where are we up to? There we go. There's a lot of reading there, man. A lot of reading. Wow. And it's just like, yeah. I've read, like, where have I read to before? I've read half of it or something. But all these quotes and things, just there's a lot to get through. Let's be honest. I'm not going to do it all tonight, am I? It's just a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, I might call it quits, everyone. So yeah, where am I on now? Let's be realistic. I need a break from this anyway. We're on page 6, aren't we? You're good at prevailing over opponents. Do not get involved. The strategy. Yeah, that's where we're at. Sorry about that. I'll just leave it in there anyway. Get a little. There you go. What do you think? Enough bookmarkers. See you later, everyone. Thank you. I will finish later.